fact, no, you can't speak on 15 and 16. You can speak on 10, 11, and 12, and the other items I mentioned earlier. Yes, sir.
Oh, is it because they're in a special meeting? Is that the... Okay, fine. Thank you, sir. It is Eric Preven from Studio City, and I could not be more excited to see these young people down here addressing City Council. It brings great warmth to my heart to see young, engaged people. And in the future, we would like to see them in the same vivid color as we saw the puppy, because you made them very small, sir, like you do all the public. It's not a good way to go. Item number 1 is the lien item. This is the one where the City Council members around the horseshoe find violations from the LA Department of Building and Safety, who've written up little citations that turn into, and this is the upsetting part, liens on their property. So this means like the elderly African-American gentleman who came over and tried to say, hey, I own the property, and then the guy brings him in the back and explains how they have to pay $3,500 for something from 10 years ago, and they go, but I can't afford that, and it's just very, very unfortunate, and I think we have to find a better solution and not do that. It's upsetting. Item number 10, I just have to say thank you to Mr. O'Farrell, who has really been duking it out for the public and for the various groups. The Muslim Council had a party in February during a time when he was being elected. So he was not able to pick up the $400 or $380 tab, whatever, $316 tab. So now he's doing it retroactively. What a sweet and generous thought, because now at a time when we're all protecting all kinds of groups around America as we're under various attack, it's very nice of him to do that. It would also be nice for him to return the contributions that were given to him excessively.
Let's stay on this item.
No, we're going to stay on the item. The item is Mr. O'Farrell's diligence, and it is really, really helpful that he did that at City Hall Rotunda, where he picked up the city cost to bring in that group, and now we would just ask that he return the contributions.
Now, Mr. Preven, stay on the item.
Thank you. Item number 6, is that acceptable? This is my treasured partners at the county.
Mr. President, the speaker doesn't have a card on this, and this item has already been voted on.
I'm sorry, it's Measure H.
No, Mr. Preven, speak on the items that were identified, which were 10, 11, and I believe 12 and 1. You had items 1 through 1/8 all the way to G, I think.
Well, sir, I've already spoken about the liens. I wanted to talk about the West Washington issue in your district, which is the nuisance revocation proceedings. Is that on the agenda?
It's been voted on, Mr. Preven.
Okay, so you're playing games with the agenda. So
nobody's playing games, but you are playing games.
No, let's go to the general public comment.
Let's go to his general public comment.
I agree, and sir, I do not play games. You're
playing games right now.
No, now I'm in general public comment, right. So here's the game, okay? Stefan Faubel's your lawyer, and he has said in front of all these nice people that you're complying with the rule that says that all of the people who participate in public meetings will be shown the same on the telecast when they go home and watch. They'll be able to judge for themselves, and then they'll decide who's playing games, okay? You don't want people to be visual in this environment because they sometimes bring criticism. That's not appropriate. That's not appropriate at all. So I would ask simply that going forward, you look at the Rule 93, you ask Mr. Faubel to put in writing if he really thinks it's okay to show the puppy in living color, and then when these kids come up, or people like me, little kids in a big guy suit, and want to share what they think and they know and write about. Sometimes I write in citywatchla.com. You could read about it. Or sometimes I write in the Daily News because I care about my community. I want to share with people what's going on. Like up in HHH earlier this week, where we're spending lots of money the voters approved for homeless help. We want to do it. We really do. We all voted for it. We don't want the money to be shifted this way and that without real public truth.
Thank you. Okay. And again, before we move on to our next presentation, I again want to remind everyone that at around noon today we hope to have hands around City Hall, and we would love to have all of you participate, and depending on what floor you're on in the main City Hall. If you're on floors 1 through 6, a few minutes before noon, if you'd go through the Spring Street exit, 7 through 12, 1st Street, 13 through 18, Temple Street, 19 and above, Main Street. If you are on City Hall East, floors 1 through 3, Temple, 4 through 7, Main, 7 and up, Spring. And if you're in City Hall South, the 1 through 4, 1st Street, 5 through 8, Spring Street. Again, that's at about 10 minutes to noon. Exit. We'll have people that will direct you. and we will surround this complex and hold hands in a show of unity, and to also acknowledge those who lost their lives 25 years ago. So